Ben, thanks so much for joining us after work. We really appreciate the time as we're into the summer months and almost taking a break from football a little bit. But I wanted to start by, first of all, congratulating you on starting on signing a new contract for next year as well. It'll be your sixth season with Darlington. How pleased were you to get that done and to be staying on board for next season?
No, I was really happy. I love it at the club. I've obviously, as you say, I've been here quite a long time now. And I just, as I say, the longer you're here, the more you love it. I've got great fans behind me. And obviously with Stephen Terry coming in towards the end of the season, how they've managed with we and worked with we, it was a no-brainer for us to sign again. I've really enjoyed working with them, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into it when we're back in. So
And,
yeah,
and getting
no-brainer
into
really.
getting into peak years of your career. I'm only 25, but 160 Darlington appearances already. So you're like almost becoming like veteran in terms of like service at the club. But mid 20s is probably pretty peak years, isn't it, for a player?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know I get a few shouts that I'm a little bit older, like, but no, I am 25, so yeah, no, hopefully I can just keep going as I've been doing, try and stay fit, and hopefully the gaffer will select us. So yeah, just got to keep going, really. Yeah.
Good. I wanted to talk a little bit about last season because for all the Darlow fans, last season was like started really quite poorly and then turned into an amazing journey and survived. But for you in particular, it was even more extreme because you didn't get a start until the Workington game in the middle of September. You'd not been selected for that bunch of games at the start of the season after making 43 appearances the season before. So it went from playing every week to not getting a look in. I wondered, how did that feel at that point for you, and how did you cope with that? And was there a time where you thought this might not be, I might not be staying at Darlington?
It was a bit of a funny one. It was I'd come in pre-season, I'd come back fit, and I thought I'd played quite well in the pre-season games and done quite well. But obviously, he, Alan had went with Griff for the start of the season, which obviously Griff's a good player as well. So I didn't, and I'm mates with Griff as well, so I was never gonna kick up too much of a fuss. But and obviously he brought Jordan Windass in as well. So when he did that, I was a little bit slightly worried. So as I say, I felt like I'd come back in good condition and was playing quite well. But I just had to try and keep my head down. And just try to train as the best I could to try and keep in Alan's mind really. And I was, as I say, I was just trying to keep my head down, keep going. I was still contracted at the club, so I was always gonna just try and stay there, and I didn't really want to leave. So yeah, as I say, I was just trying to work my way and see if I could get back in the team. And obviously, when Alan left, it was obviously Will and Platty and Jake took charge. So it was a couple of games, and then they started to drip feed us back into it. And obviously, when Josh came in, then I came back in the team. So yeah, it was just one of them. I was just trying to keep fit, trying to keep me mentally strong, even though it was quite tough. Not, as you say, I wasn't really getting in the squads. So yeah, just trying to keep fit, and just waiting for the chance to come. So I was ready.
Well,
So
we're pleased that you did, and we're pleased that you persevered because when you got into that great run towards the second half of the season, you were almost ever present. I think you were sort of rotated once or twice onto the bench for like rotation reasons, but almost played every game in that second half of the season. What was that like to play in that Great Escape? Because that's one of the craziest sort of sequences I think I've seen in all of my years at Darlington. What happened, and how did it feel to be a part of it?
it was yeah, it was surreal, really. I mean, we've had a good group of. I mean, I know we weren't doing the best, but we've had a good group of players all season, really. So it was really frustrating as players to be in the position that we were, and it wasn't like we weren't trying and training as well. Everyone was putting the effort in and training. It was just something wasn't clicking. And then obviously when the gaffer and Terry come in, they just tweaked a few little things. They brought a couple of bodies in, and just added what we needed really. And then you get a couple of wins, you get that belief going. And obviously we hadn't won back-to-back games for a while because we'd win on a Saturday and you think, oh great, here we go, and then we get beat the Tuesday, and then everyone's back on top of you. So you're thinking, oh. So once we got that out the way, really, then the confidence comes, and yeah, you just sort of kick on from there. And once you start winning a few games, it's great. The feeling around the place, everyone's got a bit more of a stride, and yeah, it was great. It was really good, and
And
obviously. when we got to the last game, sorry, the second last game, and we stayed up against Farsley. I mean, that was, the relief was just unbelievable. It was unbelievable. We knew we couldn't go down. We just knew. So no, it was amazing when we got it over the line.
It was pretty unforgettable. I think I don't think many Darlington fans will forget that season and the recovery. And it felt, didn't it, like we could beat anyone in that last sort of 15, 20 games of the season. How much of that do you think, when you guys get back into pre-season, how much of that momentum do you think we can keep going? Because we almost looked unstoppable at the end of the season. Do you think we can keep that rolling on?
Yeah, well, I think so. I think when you look back at the start of last season, and you know how the season sort of fizzled out leading into that one, I think that's where that somehow, I mean, obviously not intentionally, but it sort of sometimes comes into it. So, you know, finishing on such a positive note, and, you know, the feeling around the place, I think that's going to put you in really good stead going forward, coming into pre-season, you know, getting a few games in there, get the minutes back in everyone's legs, and then kick on into the season. And I think everyone's ready to go and wants to have a really good go at it next season.
Yeah, and I know you're not back yet in pre-season. It's probably another month or so, I would have thought, until you go back or something like that. But like for your generation of players, like at what point? Because I know you've had a stag do and you've had various bits on in your summer off. But at what point do you start thinking, right, I need to get myself ready for pre-season here, because you don't want to turn up and be blowing at the
Yeah.
start. You guys take pretty good condition, care of yourself anyway through the summer.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, to be honest, what I do is, I obviously you got your holidays planned out, so I normally try not to stop too much from the end of the season, and then obviously when you come up there, you'll do a few weeks work just as you would normally, and then you have your little breaks when your holidays come. But as soon as you're back from your holiday, I normally try and kick on and start training again. So yeah, you've just got to keep going, keep yeah, just mentality really. You've just got to think, right, you know, you need to go back fit, and you want, like as I say, we want to give it a really good go next year. So you need to make sure you hit the ground running when you get back.
Yeah, and one of the things that gives me even more pleasure than usual to talk to you about is because you're also, as well as being one of the playing squad, you're one of our owners, as well as one of the owners of Darlington Football Club, which we're grateful and amazing that you do that. What's your connection like with the fans? I mean, that's a big sign of your commitment to the club. But what's that connection like, and particularly around fan ownership and booster budget, which is almost coming to a close again? How impressed with you with how everyone's sort of come together at the end of last season and carried that on into the booster budget as well this year?
Oh, well, as I say, I mean, towards the end of last season, well, I mean, even through the bad times, everyone's stuck by with, you know, and you know, we've been right to be criticised earlier on in the season, but they're still stuck. You know, the fans are still stuck with us. And then comes towards the end of the season where we're doing well, and they're right behind us as well. So no, I think the connection with the club and the fans is really good. And every year I've been here, the booster budget seems to just be getting bigger and bigger. We get more money every time, and it's amazing. I mean, you know, the amount of money that things are costing now. You know, cost of living's went up a lot. People, obviously, it's around time everyone's going on holiday as well, and they're still managing to put their hands in the pocket and raise as much money as they are. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So all we can say is thank you, really, because it's just unmatched. You don't see other clubs really getting it to the numbers we get to. It's just amazing.
Yeah, but well said, Ben, and congratulations on that end of the season for you as well, in that second half of the season, and helping us get to safety. And I think we're all as excited as you are, I think, to get stuck into it, get into pre-season, and see if we can keep this roll going into next year.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's a bit a weird one really, because we finished a little bit earlier this year, didn't we? So it's, you know, it feel even like a few weeks after the season, it felt like, oh, it's been been a long time already, and there's still another month and a bit to go. But no, we're all looking forward to getting back into it. So no, we're just looking forward to getting back into the games. Not looking forward to the run as much, but I know we need to do it. So no, but yeah, it should. You know, we really want to have a good go at it next year, and I think you know, the squad we've got and the managers we've got going into it, you know, I think we're stood in good stead.
Brilliant. Well, we'll see you soon enough anyway.
Yeah, no, thank you.